Patreon Q&A number 85. I want to thank all 124 of my amazing patrons, guys. It really means the world to me that you're continuing to support me despite everything going on. So thank you so much. To everyone else listening, there's going to be spoilers in these questions and answers, so tread carefully. All right, so we got a different one today. All three of you guys pretty much asked the same question: free t-shirts, Acoustic, and Gits and Shiggles. So I'm going to lump them all together here. It's basically about Metal Bat, who he's going to fight possibly in the battle coming up, and just basically what's going to happen with like the cadre S-class matchups in general. So basically your guess is as good as mine. At this point, things are changing a lot, and it's difficult to really say how much is going to stay the same. So in my opinion, I feel like all of the concrete results are more or less going to stay the same. I would kind of be disappointed if they changed. Like, for example, Zombie Man is going to wind up defeating Homeless Emperor, after basically a war of attrition and catching him off guard. I think that pretty much has to stay the same. So that's the fate of Homeless Emperor. And then we come to Gums and Fear Ugly. They get taken out by Abandonment Bang in one of the most incredible sequences in the series. And if One and Murata decide to change this is one of the things I'd probably be the most upset about. Yeah, I mean, there should be other S-Class heroes taking care of two cadres instead of one, but you know what? There's plenty of time for them. This is Bang's pretty much final moment of significance in the series, other than when he scolds Garo at the end. So don't take this away from Bang. And also, the manga onlys aren't really aware that Bang is this insane anyway, so that kind of has to stay the same. So I really don't see anyone else getting the wins of Gums and Fear Ugly. So that leads me to think that, okay, so Metal Bat, Genos, and whoever else, they're probably not going to get a huge win in this arc. And if they do, I'd be surprised / disappointed. Unless there's a random new monster that comes out to be a dragon, which is possible. I mean, why not? I think the most that these characters are going to do, Metal Bat included, is just going to support people and have somewhat big moments like fighting monsters here and there. Also, there's that other thing that I constantly brought up when I was talking about Orochi's possible return, is that there might be a sequence still where Orochi becomes dragons or something and fights specifically numbered 8 S-Class heroes. And at that time, I wasn't really sure who that was going to be. But now that Genos and Metal Bat are here, and possibly even Tank Top Master, they could be the ones included that are fighting Orochi's dragons and stuff like that. And maybe that's where they get their significance from. Metal Bat, Tank Top Master, Genos, maybe take away the rest of Orochi. And then it also goes into okay, isn't Tatsumaki going to defeat Orochi as well? She's going to defeat Orochi, but it's going to be high diff. It's going to weaken her. And then that's how Psychos is going to demerge from Orochi. And then that's how her and Fubuki and everything plays out. So it ultimately comes down to what's going to happen with Tatsumaki, because also if Tatsumaki is too damaged after her fight with Sairochi, then she's probably not going to have that sequence where she's fighting all of the cadres at once, when Homeless Emperor and Evil Natural Water are shooting those the projectiles at her, and she's protecting herself with the orb. She's also fighting Black Gas. Pretty cool sequence. That might change, and instead of them going at her, we might see Metal Bat, Genos, and Tank Top Master, maybe. Not too sure what's going to go on with him, and I'm sure I'll be talking about him later. Maybe they just fight the cadres for a little bit, and then we have some new kind of matchups that don't have any definitive endings to it. Maybe Metal Bat clashes with Homeless Emperor or Gums or Fear Ugly for a little bit or something like that. Same thing with Genos. And then, I mean, maybe they can even be included in fighting Evil Natural Water later on, because he winds up wrecking Child Emperor, Atomic Samurai, Pig God, all at the same time. So maybe they're included in that. But I think it's ultimately going to come down to them, very likely Metal Bat, namely here, being included in the final fight against Awakened Garo. And then I think Awakened Garo might wreck Metal Bat again. And then, maybe Metal Bat will be around at the very end when everybody decides to, what to do with Garo after Saitama defeats him. So, yeah, I think it's probably going to be like that. I wouldn't expect too drastic changes to be going on at this point. And I don't think that they're going to fight Multi-S or Golden S. I think that's going to stay the same. Multi-S was just for Tatsumaki to basically job to, and also to show the difference in power between him and Golden S. So I don't think, or Black S in general. I mean, the possibilities are endless for him. He could just keep multiplying and fighting everyone at once if he really wants to. So that's also another possibility. But that's how I see things going at this point. Dino W asks, hey, Shonen, back for another Q&A. My first question, if you were a character of One Punch Man and you want to join the Hero Association, where would you want to start? CBA or S? Definitely S. I feel like at this point, I don't feel like working up in the Hero Association anymore, especially like the difficult grind that's going to be. I just want to train, get my point to S class level in strength, and then just straight up join the Hero Association at S class level. I think that's probably the best method of attack, at least in my opinion. My second question, do you watch the Netflix Marvel shows, and how would you rate each one? Always take care. P.S. Saw the panel of Garo and Metalbat saving the box of drowning kittens. Yeah, I remember when Murata drew that on stream, and then the final product was awesome. And yeah, they should be friends. I think they'll team up in the future, Metalbat and Garo, eventually. But I have seen the first seasons of all of the Defender shows, and I would say that the one that I liked the most was Jessica Jones, and then after that, Luke Cage was number 2. Number 3, Daredevil, and then number 4 was what was it? The Iron Fist? Is that what it was? I forget. But the you know what I'm talking about. That show wasn't that good. Steven asks, Buenas tardes, show. What do you think the One Piece actually is? I don't think it will be as good as a Magic Lamp or the Dragon Ball, but I don't know what else will live up to the wait. Stay frosty, dude. So I'm thinking that the overall One Piece is just a collection of poneglyphs. It's going to be like the informational poneglyphs that talk about everything that you need to know about the Void Century. And also there's going to be more poneglyphs there that talk about how to use Poseidon, Uranus, and Pluton in order to basically change the world, take care of the Red Line, and overthrow the world government pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I think that's ultimately what it's going to be. And then there's going to be treasure there too. There's going to be treasure from Joy Boy, and then I'm pretty sure Gold Roger left some treasure there too. So, I mean, the treasure could be whatever. It's just going to be cool stuff. Maybe some stuff that we've been hinted at throughout the series. But other than that, I think the significance of the One Piece is definitely going to be all of the information from the poneglyphs there. Go Pikaahh asks, hey, Shonen, a 2v2 battle between 9 and Boros versus USJ All Might and, of course, the Bearded Worker Blast, who is coming up on top. So I'm thinking Blast, maybe by himself, might be able to take them both. USJ All Might's definitely helping here, but I mean, I already made Blast versus Boros video where I speculated that Blast is probably stronger than him and could very likely defeat him, and my opinion hasn't really changed. But 9 has a pretty good barrier, pretty strong. But I think that Blast, his alleged energy projection abilities could probably break 9's barrier and then just take him out with like 1 or 2 shots. I don't think 9's strong enough to deal with somebody that's allegedly on the level of Blast, in my opinion. He's probably way too fast for him as well. So, yeah, I'm thinking Blast and USJ All Might can take this one. With Blast doing a lot of the work here. Jon C asks, hey, this question might be going down the line a little bit in the series, but do you think that when Garo returns, he will have a new form, maybe a form like concentrated on will and wisdom instead of anger and spite, in a light Garo, if you will, and do you think it will be stronger than his monster form? So I don't think he'll have a new form. I think he'll just be a human when he returns, like how we saw him in, what was it, chapter 111? Or yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 111 when King spots him under that waterfall. He's pretty much just a human there. I mean, I would be surprised if he retained any of his monster abilities. I mean, it's also possible that he could. I mean, maybe he can be like Hellfire and Gale now. Maybe he can go in and out of the Awakened Garo form, but I don't think that's likely. Considering what he was saying about like the Godslayer Fist, it's leaving me, and whatever we saw happen at the end of that arc, which has yet to be explained. I think it was just implying that he's just a human now. And I don't think it will be like signifying that he has a different form. But yeah, he'll be more mild-mannered now. Now that he's gone through his full character arc, I'm sure he will be what you're saying, will and wisdom based, or somewhat trying to attain that. And I don't think he'll be stronger than Awakened Garo, but eventually he will be if he undergoes enough training. I don't think it's too far-fetched to say that he as a human without going back into monster form can become that strong. Joseph K asks, hello Shonen, do you think Drive Knight will fight against one of the Neo leaders when the eventual clash between them and the Hero Association happens, or will he just get a throwaway line like, we're trying to reach Drive Knight but he's unavailable? No, I think that it's possible that he could fight a Neo leader, but also I'm pretty positive that the organization is, more or less in control of the Neo leader or the Neo heroes, behind the curtains. And, I'm pretty sure that Drive Knight is also a part of the Hero Association, part of the organization. So we've got the organization in both sides of this civil war here. So I don't see why they would need to fight each other. They're kind of just working for the ultimate goal to make both of them, I guess, their underlings or a part of their ultimate plan. But if he was randomly to fight, just, I don't know, for them to, like, not be suspicious, to make them not suspicious of Drive Knight, like, okay, Drive Knight, just fight this guy because, we need you to beat him. It would be probably one of the weaker ones. So I think A is probably a good candidate because he seems like the one that is definitely the most evil Neo hero right now. So maybe they throw A to Drive Knight just to job to him, and also so that the Hero Association trusts Drive Knight because they want to have, trust on both sides, in the Neo heroes and the Hero Association. So I could see something like that happening. Legandaryus asks, hey Shonen, do you think One Punch Man might get a magic system in the future since medieval countries are still alive in the One Punch Man world? And would also there be a futuristic country that would explain Chad Emperor and Metal Bat's tech gadgets? So I was curious too about like what was going on with that medieval stuff. Like when Saitama, I think it was chapter 120, like in the beginning of that, when he's just randomly goes off on that quest and takes care of the dragon and the amulet and the magic stuff. So that might have been one subtly setting up that there is some kind of magic in this world, because I also thought that in Felsenave, the new Neo leader guy who has like he's like a cult leader pretty much, he looks like he might be some kind of magic user, so that might be an introduction to explaining his abilities possibly. And also I chalked it up to like that dragon was just obviously a monster, but then there was still some kind of magical element to it, so I think it's possible. I mean, why not? I'm looking forward to seeing if that is the truth. And then as for the futuristic country, I think if we do see a futuristic country, it's going to be like where they are right now on the supercontinent, because that's where all of civilization is huddled together. So like when we see Child Emperor's like base of operations, it looks like, a futuristic hub or something like that. So I don't think there's like a futuristic country. I think Child Emperor and Metal Bat are more so like outliers. Like they are the standard for tech in that world. They're not learning from others. I think others are learning from them, if that makes sense. MemePriest asks, hey Shonen, hope things are going well for you. Anyway, my questions for this week: what Zasher level would you give Jonathan Joestar? He's already demon level feats, such as like throwing a veil like a football, and his Haman is a great factor into my reasoning. So I haven't seen part 1 in a very long time, so I'm a little iffy on his feats, but from what I remember, I thought that he was, fairly demon level, pretty strong, pretty fast, significant abilities, but nothing really ever stuck out to me to thinking that he was like a definitive dragon. Now remember, haven't seen it in a while, a little iffy, but yeah, I would say demon's fair for now. Do you think Neo or Associate Hero will get a shrinking hero? So that seems like a really crazy ability for a human to have in the One Punch Man world. It is possible, of course, but I that's more of like a monster thing, I would say, or some kind of experiment that Dr. Genus did. I mean, it would be cool if there was like an Ant-Man type hero. I think that would be fun. But the best chance is for us to see like a Neo hero have it, since we haven't seen their abilities yet, or most of them, so it's possible that one of them could. I just don't think it's likely. Hey up, Shonen, Proasek. Proasek? Is that how you pronounce it, or are you making fun of me? Anyway, so last manga chapter was big with a capital B, and it got me thinking. Tank Top Master said he's going to start his training from scratch, and that he respects Moonrider, so you think he's going to become almost like a disciple to our favorite cyclist? Hope you have a grand old day, my man. Keep up the stellar work. Hey, thank you, Proasek. I don't think that Tank Top Master is going to become a disciple of Moonrider. I think he's going to work with Moonrider in this arc. They're going to be saving people, and he's going to learn from Moonrider. Basically just the fundamentals. I don't think he's going to become like his disciple or anything like that. But Tank Top Master will do this training from scratch to become a better hero overall, but also I'm pretty sure he's going to become stronger as well. He might even go over to the Neo heroes and maybe get training from Darkshine, and maybe Darkshine gives him some insight into how he actually became Darkshine, since we don't really know the answer to it. We know that he did training, but then it's just ambiguous after that. It's like he keeps saying, like, I've trained my muscles differently than Tank Top Master and Prairie Prisoner. Okay, what does that mean? What did you do? We might find out about it when he shows Tank Top Master. Maybe that's how Tank Top Master becomes stronger, possibly. Just a little theory. I'm going to talk about it more in my Tank Top Master video, but I think that he's going to learn a lot from Moomin Rider, but not be his disciple. Geruda asks, hey, Shona, what's your favorite move ability from Yu Yu Hakusho? I've always loved the Darkness Flame techniques. Thanks. Yeah, that one's epic, of course, but my favorite is Kuwabara's Dimension Cutting Sword. I forget the exact name. Was it Dimension Sword? I'm pretty sure. That was so awesome because I've always loved Kuwabara. One of my favorites. Just a great character. And I love that, like, it ultimately came down to realizing that he had one of the most significant abilities in all of the verse. And then when he finally was doing it, like, what it was capable of, like when he cut through the psychic barrier of, what do they call him? Seaman? Waterman? I forget what they wound up calling that young dude. And then the way that he was able to cut through the Kakai barrier, and or allegedly, and when he was cutting through, like, just the dimension, like the reality, pretty much, like when he's fighting Sensoi in the demon world, like when him, Kurama, and Hiei all team up, and Sensoi is essentially low diffing them all, he's making sure to get the frig out of the way of Kuwabara swinging that thing, because he knew that it would be lights out for him if he got hit by that thing, regardless of how powerful he was. Loved it. I just want to go back and watch it again. So much fun to be had with that. ThighsOfZeus asks, hey, Zeus of Zoestar. My questions will be both about the new group rising and the heroes conflict. First, how powerful would you say the cadres of the hero name Victims Association are on the disaster level scale? Since Saitama is considering joining, they must have some powerhouses on their side. Also, the Hero Names Association will most likely be the group to win the upcoming war. I could see the Civil War ending with Saitama giving a speech about hero names and the harm that they could do to a hero's self-esteem. Thanks, Shonen. Stay safe and stay classy. Hey, you too, ThighsOfZeus. Thank you. So, I'm thinking that these guys are probably wolves and tigers. I think that's fair to say. But we don't have enough evidence or anything on them, so they could be dragons for all we know. It's very possible. I mean, why not? But also, like, I think that would be really cool that once the alleged civil war is over, it's like neither the Hero Association or the near heroes are on top at the end. It's just the Hero Victims Association. I mean, that would be totally one. That could totally be something I could see one doing. I mean, why not? That would be so funny. And also, it would give, like, you know, more depth and more reasoning to why he brought that whole group into the story in the first place, rather than just being like a funny joke. Zapphod B asks, if Mirio from My Hero Academia universe ate a monster cell, what would his disaster level be? So I would say right now, you know, he's a demon. His permeation ability is pretty significant. And he has, you know, he's just as strong as maybe like a low tiger, possibly something like that. Fast, you know, probably too. So if he went to a monster cell, what his full potential would be, at least, you know, pushing with the monster transformation ability and everything, he could probably go to dragon level. I mean, I don't see why not. I think that's fair to say. And then he's probably going to keep his permeation as well. So super strong, super fast with that. I think a dragon is fair. And then Withered Sprout would get dominated by Unihorn. Withered Sprout is just a tiger after all. Unihorn, certified demon. I think that he's strong enough to break out of Withered Sprout's ice probably. And then, you know, just one stab or slash or whatever from his horn would be enough to take out Withered Sprout. Thank you, Zapphod. So that's pretty much it for the video today, guys. Once again, I want to thank all 124 of my incredible patrons. Guys, I can't thank you enough for everything. And if you would like to be in next week's Q&A, simply check out the Patreon. The $5 tier will give you access to this video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe as well. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.